Hmm. Ah, it's quite lovely. Yes. Yes, quite. Hmm. Hmm. This is a right-hand drive. Interesting. Yeah. Gosh, she's purty. Yeah. I guess it's time. Pretty. Almost too shiny for my tastes. 482,000. Oh, those are nice rims. Hmm. Now, if those were painted that same color red, those rims would look really good. How did we get into such? I mean, those weren't bad. Oh, come on. That's what it was. Those are just racing slicks. There we go. Get rid of all that whitewash. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, baby. The washer there, batteries there. Is that the wiper blade going straight down the center? I think it is. Hmm. Well, let's head back to the garage. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining. We're going to continue our storyline here. Maybe pick up a few extra jobs on the side. All right, let's see what we got on the phone here. Let's see. Excuse me. Salem Spectre SR. Hey, I'm stopping by with an unconventional job. I found this car on an auction. It's new, and at first glance, you can wonder what could be wrong with a vehicle like this. The problem is that it was a donor car. New, just bought, without an engine. Thanks to this, I could purchase it for a fraction of the price of a new one. But without an engine, I tried to get a complete drive unit somewhere, but it seems that this specific model is highly desirable, and that's how I found myself at your door. Please rebuild the heart of my new acquisition. I know it's tedious work, but in this case it's profitable. Thank you, and see you soon. Repair, replace body parts. If it's new, why do I have to repair and replace body parts? Change oil, spray it the factory color, other tax. Okay, this is part of our storyline. We're going to take that. I guess somebody bought it to donate all the parts for another car. Alright, we're going to move you inside. Why not? Let's see, what else do we have here? We got a Roadrunner, knocking noise from engine bay. Oh, that's always fun. And what's this one? Other tasks. That's going to be quick money. And this one is brakes, exhaust, and body repair. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and move that Challenger in on the hoist. And I guess we could pick up a couple of exhaust works. Or we could just, you know what? Let's let those cycle out, and we'll see if we can pick up another one. Let's go ahead. Let's ugga dugga some of these things. What engine does this thing have in it? It's got 16 miles. 16 stinking miles, man. What motor was it supposed to have in it? 703 horsepower, so it probably had the supercharged model. V8 DOHC supercharge. I don't think it was the AXK because I don't think the AXKs were supercharged. It says right there, supercharged right in front of my face. So yeah, we'll put that bad boy in it. It shouldn't cost too much. I think I might have a lot of the parts for that. Okay, so we're building a new engine from scratch. Let's see if I've got a... I'm not sure if those are the heads for... I'm pretty sure they are. We'll take them anyway. I know we're going to need these bad boys. There's our supercharger. There's one of our valve covers. Grab one of those. That's got to come with us. Supercharger intake. There's another. I think I've got two heads though already, don't I? Need one more camshaft. I thought I had an engine block here. Alright, do not have an engine block. Got a crankshaft, high quality crankshaft. So we'll take that with us. I don't think I have any parts for that, do I? It doesn't look like I do. What do I have under here? This is all electronics, yeah. These are all spare parts. Don't think we're going to need those. Alright. So, we're going to need an engine block. Create new engine. Supercharged. Right there. Okay. What is buzzing me here? Let's see. Something's buzzy me. What do you want? Are you coming to pester me? He's making noise. We gotta build this engine, buddy. Think we can do it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't think we can.
I think we can. You've been an engineer most of your life.
What? Okay, so we're gonna need that part. We're gonna need this part. We're gonna need this part.
Basically anything that says V8.
We're gonna need cover B because we already have a cover A. We need one more exhaust manifold. We're gonna need a V8 filter. We're gonna need this oil pan, power steering pump. We're gonna need our supercharger belt. We're gonna need a couple of these. You're gonna need a cover, water pump, throttle body. Oh, I bought a B. I need an A. Oops.
Hey, Dad, do you have a mod where you can work on the Plymouth Fury?
I don't have a Plymouth Fury.
Oh, man.
I know, it's terrible. We are going to need some of these cam gears. Where's those cam gears? Right there. Gonna need 4 of those. Boom. We are going to need caps. We're gonna need, I think, 4 crankshaft bearings on this. Crankshaft bearing caps. We're gonna need 8 piston caps. We are going to need 8 pistons. We're gonna need 8 piston rings. 8 piston rings and a flower in a pear tree. We're gonna need coils.
Coils?
And we're going to need sparkulators.
Sparkulator?
Your Vulcan stun doesn't work on me. This might need a battery too. We'll come back to that. I know, it looks like something weird, doesn't it? Okay, we're gonna need a fuel filtrator. What? Why are you pestering me? Is it because I just started my stream and I'm talking to people and you're saying, Daddy, talk to me. Talk to me, Daddy. Talk with me. You haven't talked with me for 15 minutes. You haven't talked with me for 15 minutes. Get a bulldog, they said. It'd be fun, they said. Here, go ahead and tug with her. All right. I think we've pretty much got the core of building this thing out. So I'm almost certain we forgot something, but we'll catch it in post. Oh, you know what we forgot? I know exactly what we forgot. We need one of you, and one of you. I already have one of you. I don't have an alternator, but I did get a padding pump. I gotta put our crank in. Put our filter in. Put our other filter in. What are you?
That's Pyro X.
You're something.
If you're wondering what a pyro is, it's from the game Team Fortress 2.
I'm pretty certain they know what a pyro is, son.
Pyromaniac.
Are you in here to avoid going to bed? Is that what you're up to?
No.
Because you do know it's 8 o'clock, right?
I just like to be in your streams.
You like to disrupt the streams? Just don't cross the streams. Remember, crossing the streams is very bad.
Wait, what happens if you do cross streams, and how do you do that?
Well, it's a line from Ghostbusters when they were trying to fight ghosts. Their proton packs couldn't cross the streams because it could cause a matter reversal and cause their bodies to explode. It's like pressing the rapid disassembly button.
Dude.
So that's when they say, don't cross the streams.
Oil pan.
And you know, they sit there and talk about how horrible and terrible it is, and then at the very end of the movie, that's the one thing they do. Oh, that's right, because I've got my clutch sitting in here. You know what? I might even have an alternator in here that I can snag. Yeah, who cares? We'll put a performance clutch in it. Why not?
That looks like one of the Fury's wheels.
I didn't need to buy a power steering pump. Don't tell anybody. I think we're going to need this radiator and this radiator housing and these fans. Looking for an alternator. Maybe I don't have an alternator.
Type in alt.
I could do that. But that kind of defeats the fun of sorting through parts. Where am I going to need a power steering reservoir? Yeah, why not? What could possibly go wrong?
Wait, can you sort it
By knuckleheads? Yes, I can sort it by knuckleheads.
Can you sort it by A to Z?
I think I probably can do alphabetical. I usually just sort by condition.
So the ones at the bottom are the worst condition, the ones at the top are the best condition.
Right, but everything in that particular one are all 100% anyway, so it doesn't matter much. Put the manifold on. Let's see here. What did I start out with? 61, and I'm at 54 now. Just trying to get a feel to find out how much it costs to make one of these engines. Of course, I did have a lot of these parts on hand, too, so this isn't an accurate assessment. Oh, I need fuel rails. I never picked up fuel rails.
Side A, side B.
Put the water pump in. You put the water pump out, you put the water pump in, and you shake it all about. You do the horky borky and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. I thought I had a roller A. I guess it was a roller bee. You do the horky morky. All right. And come on, click on it. There we go. What are you messing with, son?
Your crowbar.
Could you leave my mini crowbar alone?
ADF. Why does
That was the tape you had in that tape player. And I think I found a belt for it too, so I might be able to get it fixed.
Yay!
I just got to get the belt ordered. Alright, so we need to go in here and we need the alternator. And we need the fuel rails. Fuel. And I forgot what fuel rails they were. That's because they're in here. I only need two. Doses. And I think we need 4 of those because we already had one. And I think we need 5 of those because we only need one. And we need a water pump pulley. Supercharged water pump pulley. No. Where's our supercharged water pump pulley for V10 supercharger? There's our water pump pulley there.
I'm giving you a massage.
Give me something. A lot of racked full of nerves is what you're giving me. Alright. Toss that on there. Toss this. Oh, I needed the tensioner. That's what I was forgetting. Tensioner.
So what does the tensioner do?
The tensioner helps put tension on the belt so it's nice and tight as it goes through the serpentine route.
Serpentine?
Yep.
Sounds like something straight out of Ninjago.
It is straight out of Ninjago. Or it may not be. I don't know. A few more tests.
Well, this is 2018.
See, this is called a serpentine belt. It goes whoop, 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 and it puts tension here so the belt stays tight.
Okay.
And it looks like we're going to need the A for this side. I thought this was all one belt, but I guess it's not. You would think that it would be.
And Dad, you've been a mechanic for years.
Yeah, I've been a mechanic for a while. Alright, what do you think? Does this thing all look together?
Yup.
All except for these guys.
Fuel rail.
And our clutches.
So what is that thing? The little golden hatches in there.
What golden hatches?
So go to the side, go to that side, and look into the holes. What are those for?
Oh, those are the throttle plates. So what that does is as this thing commands those things to rotate, they open and close to allow air into the engine.
And is that where the majority of the sound comes from?
Yeah, that's where your throatiness comes from. Your big. Some people call that the flusher.
The flusher.
Because when they're wide open, they're flushing a lot of fuel into the engine. Like it's like flushing a toilet. Liquid goes everywhere. Alright, so even with me having parts, it almost cost me 10 grand to build this engine.
But clearly you have too much money.
I don't have too much money. That's hardly any money in this game. Oh, I didn't put. That's okay. We can do it in the car.
So what car are you working on?
This one here.
That's a V8?
That's what it said it was.
That does not look like a V8. A V8 looks too powerful for that car.
What did it just pull out? What? Oh, fuel filter. That's what it pulled out. Okay. I'm like, what in the world did that thing pull out? All right, there we go. Put that one in. I didn't need to buy it a fuel filter, but it got one anyway. It has a supercharger on it, son. Right there. I forgot that it counts that fuel filter as part of the engine. Even because I just put one on this engine. See, you're yawning. That means it's time for you to go to bed.
That's my first yawn.
Yeah, it's my third or fourth for the day. I could have swore I bought two of those. Did I not buy two of those? Apparently not, because I'm missing this one.
You're missing?
Cover.
You're missing?
I'm missing this one. Alright, so we need to get this. And I think I've got one of those in the thing. I already had the radiator, so I didn't need the radiator. I don't see a spot for the power steering pump, so I don't think we need to get a power steering pump. Let's see, is that a different pipe? Front exhaust, those are the same pipes. Okay, so I'm also going to need a drive shaft. I might have that in my inventories. Let's press the button here, get her up off the ground.
And it's weird how the suspension doesn't go down.
Yeah, that's one of the things is the suspension doesn't move on these cars, which
It's annoying.
it is. I mean, it's a real life simulator, right?
Yeah. And when you walk, why does your screen do like a little limp?
It's just the head sway they've got on here. Maybe it was under my performance. No. I guess I don't have one. I'm gonna have to buy it a transmission. You can go, 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 you can go,
What
you
does
can
it
go,
mean
you
by
can go.
question mark?
Because there's a part on there. Oops, there's a part on there that I haven't investigated.
Oh.
So I need to go here and I need to go put engine on stand. This one.
Fuel filter.
And then I go remove. There. And now I can go here and I can go. We'll just leave it.
What happened to the majority of the engine?
It was removed prior.
Prior?
Yep. This vehicle was towed in
Huh.
on a flatbed, doing flatbed things. I don't see a drive line either, so I'm going to have to get a drive shaft, a starter, and a transmission. So, go transmission. transmission. Actually, in here they've got it called a gearbox. Because made in the UK. That's the 4x4 version.
Hey, honey, could you go check the gearbox?
Gearbox is right there. We need give him the shaft. And then we need to go in here and grab us a La Starter. Starter!
V8.
Wait. Wait right here.
Vate? That's an interesting name.
Oh, I didn't get the exhaust sections either, did I? Let's go back into here, and we go here. Front exhaust pipe, we need to go ×2. See, I had those bookmarked.
Shopping list. Da, 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 da,
What are you watching, Condor Man again?
No, but I want to watch it again.
Well, it's on the server.
Oh, and where are the controllers?
For me to know and for you to find out.
Let me guess, they're in your room.
Okay, so it's got a fuel pump. Okay. I'm concerned about this rusty bolt here.
Why?
Because this is supposed to be a new car. Why does it have one rusty bolt?
Maybe,
Everything else looks like it's here, doesn't it?
maybe it's a new car.
Well, it is. It's supposed to be a new car that someone bought for a donor for another car that they were working on. So they basically stripped down a brand new car, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Why they would buy something brand spanking new, rip it apart, and then donate it to another car. I think what they meant to say is it was a stolen car that somebody stripped, and that's why it was at auction. That would have been a better story, but you know.
Car mechanic.
Apparently, we only have car theft here in the States. They don't have it anywhere else in the world.
Remember that one stripped car we saw when Mom went to Pets and stuff?
Yes. Bodyworks. Okay.
Ooh, pretty.
And this is the car we're working on, working on, working on. This is the car we're working on. Ha 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 ha.
If you go back, I'll see some witty, pretty cars.
I know!
Witty, pretty. Pretty,
Yeah, that's an Aston. That's an Aston. I've got a real soft spot for this car here. I think that is an absolutely gorgeous car.
Me too. I like that one. Charger, Gotti.
But this is the in-game version of the Charger, yes.
Oh,
But that's not the actual Charger.
hey, close enough to the.
To the Bel Air, huh?
Yeah, close enough to the port to the.
And this is their version of the Cadillac.
Cataract.
Yeah, this is the other Cadillac here.
Why are they just giant H?
Because that's the manufacturer. Each one of these, that's their manufacturing symbol.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
FMW.
Right.
Copyright. Go back down. It's a Fury. Go to. Look, it's a Fury.
Kind of. No, that's another Cadillac.
Okay.
There were big fin Cadillacs back in the day. Go look up pink Cadillac, and that's what you'll have.
Okay.
And this is supposed to be a Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Yep.
You're basically just naming off cars. Pretty.
Right?
Pretty.
I do. I cannot. I have not found these hot rods in the game yet. I'm really wanting to find these hot rods.
More hot rods.
Yeah, that's the Super Bee.
And there's the car the president rides in.
Yep, that's supposed to be a Lincoln Continental.
Da 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 da.
All right.
And then there's Mater.
Well, yeah, we had a tow truck like that, remember?
Did you keep it?
I think I may still have it. I've got to look. I don't remember.
I want to see my good old friend Mater
Is he a tow mater?
again.
Wonder if it wants me to put the license plate on here.
Hey, we also need to
Probably if it's got the back license plate.
we need to paint the
Yeah,
hood.
we'll paint it. I want to get the plates on. Where is the generic blank plate?
Idaho.
Right there.
Utah.
Why is that different than what was on here?
No, it isn't.
Okay, well, I guess that's going to have to do. Alright, so condition parts 99%. What are we missing? Why is it 99%?
What is the factory color? Orange or yellow?
I wonder if one of those parts is slightly damaged. It's not going to give me the body list, is it? Okay. Let's get our free experience here. So we haven't even gotten our free experience.
99. Clip A is 99.
Clip A is 99 where?
Right on that.
Well, that's probably...
198.
Yeah, okay, so that's why it's only...
100.
Some of the parts aren't 100%.
99. 97, 95, 95, 100, 98, 100, 99.
We're not going to go through the effort of repairing all those little EV parts. That is definitely outside of my...
Now, why doesn't it count the middle exhaust?
because those are catalytic converters, I've got to run that through a code reader to find out the condition of those. I burped right on camera. I blame you.
Why?
Well, because I couldn't possibly do something that terrible, especially in public.
Well, you've done it in public multiple times.
What? What? Rude. Okay, so we got the power steering, we got fluid in the brake reservoir. I guess we just add oils.
And it's weird how oil is a yellowish tint.
Well, it's kind of a golden color, yes, but it's also this oil here is very what are you? You okay?
Yeah.
Spray at factory color, other tasks. Perform a headlight alignment. Well, derp. I was going to do that anyway. Alright, let's run it over to the paint.
Factory color.
Think the factory color is going to be yellow?
Yeah.
Actually, factory color's white.
Why?
I think this was a stolen car.
Me too.
I think it was a stolen car, and that's why it was stripped and repainted. Test our path so we can align the headlights. Probably ought to do a wheel alignment on it too. Okay. dun, dun.
I wish that there was Car Mechanic multiplayer.
That would be pretty cool, having multiple people tearing apart cars at the same time.
Then we could do a co-op.
What? You don't even own the game. How are you going to co-op with me? That's because we've got that clutch in there.
Why is it red?
Because we exceeded the factory power.
And does it
We have 11 additional horsepower in it.
does it not want us to do that?
How can we have 11 additional horsepower? Factory was 703, and we're 713. That should be like 714 if we have 11 plus horsepower. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I think someone's math is screwed up, wouldn't you think?
Mhm.
Well, I guess maybe it's taking into account those damaged parts.
Yeah, maybe it is. Dino.
All right. Job bonus payout. Special order. We spent 20K on that car, getting it back up and going. Finish the order. Ting. And we just gained another level. Let's see what low-hanging fruit we had on that one that said other tasks. Which I think was this one here? No, that was loud exhaust. Is this the other tasks? No. Had to have been this one. Yes, change brake fluid, change coolant, change power steering, change windshield, increase tuning of car. Most of that we can do out here. I guess we're going to have to tune this little motor up. Motor and... He moved my shoes out of the way and I kicked them when I... There we go. Free experience points. Free experience points. Alright, maybe we should run this thing back to the dyno. Give me the exhaust. Lots and lots exhaust. It's all in pretty good shape considering the age. And the tires. Suspension. I'll run a little compression test on it here. We get experience points for that. Okay, well, I think if we change out the fuel pump and fuel filter, because we only got to go to 11%, so fuel pump, fuel filter will be a good change out. Changing the air filter, I think, will also be good. Maybe putting some sparkulators in it with some high tension power lines going to them. Those tires are almost, well, they're halfway worn.
Maybe you should put some new tires on them.
What? He doesn't need new tires. It's not part of the JOB, son.
But
are plenty. It's a lot of miles, son. You have a 60,000 mile tire. That's still 30,000 miles you have to go. You go put that in the sink for me. Little weak on compression. Drain this. I actually just did a fluid change on a friend's brakes this week. We did not only the reservoir. Oh, I didn't want to fill that up. We not only did the reservoir, but we also changed out all the fluid in the lines too. He's a happy camper. His brakes aren't nearly as bushy now as they used to be. That was some pretty bad brake fluid. I mean, it was coming out darker than dark.
And possibly, and some of it was red like rust.
Yeah, he has one bad wheel cylinder. That's one of the other reasons why his brakes are so bad. But that one, the fluid that came out from that bad wheel cylinder was just red as red could be. It's almost as red as this bottle here for this coolant. But yeah, it was clearly rusted, so he's going to look into getting a wheel cylinder. He's got to put rear shoes on it anyway. So he's going to be getting some shoes and that wheel cylinder, and we're going to do a full brake job on that. Then that thing should stop fairly decent for him. I think they wanted us to change the oil on this thing too, didn't they? What do you think? Do we need to change its oil?
Sure.
Should we look at it and see how dirty it is?
It's the Daddy Long Legs thing again.
Actually, that's pretty clean oil.
Minimum?
Yep.
Okay.
That was pretty clean oil. I don't think we need to change oil.
Okay.
I'll go back and check, but I don't think changing oil is on the list. Because that oil looked pretty danged good. Let's see. What's our tasks? Oh yeah, see? No oil change. No oil change in there. Now we just got to increase the tuning by 5 to 10%. So, if I remember right, this thing had like 2 fuel pumps on it. So, we remove this guy. And if we remove this guy, and we remove the fire cables.
It's sad no one has showed up in your stream.
Well, we don't know if anybody has or hasn't. I don't have the stats on.
Oh. Can you turn on the stats?
Not from here. We're going to get him a new air filter. And I don't think I can pull that fuel pump without put. Oh, I can. Ha 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 ha. Alright, what do you think? Should we put some fire sticks in this thing too, or?
Sure. And Dad?
What?
If they make a new car mechanic, I hope they make it more realistic.
What? You're saying this isn't realistic enough?
Yeah. The suspension doesn't go down when you lift the car up.
What?
And there's no tubing connected to the fuel pump.
What?
I mean, literally, it's just you add the fuel pump and you're just done with it.
Well, I know. I mean, they could go real in depth in it, son, but I think we're going to exceed the 10% threshold for performance.
I mean, is he going to be fine with more than 10?
Well, I don't know. It's the mission goal. If you, it really has very little to do with customer and more with following what they want you to do. But
So how much did you get this car from the barn?
this is a customer's car. This isn't a barn car.
Oh, okay.
This is a fix-it. Okay, we got new fire sticks on there. Whoosh.
And where's the high performance stuff? Red.
So that you can tell the difference between that and your regular parts. Alright, let's run it back to the dyno. Right there. Then we'll give it a wash, we'll give it a detail, and kick it out the door. Yes. 161 firepower, baby.
Are the fans supposed to give it drag?
What?
Are the fans supposed to give it drag?
No, the fans are supposed to keep it cool because it's not moving forward, but it's using high revolutions. So you put the fans there to give it to keep it cool. Wow. So with all those performance mods we did, it brought it up to 11.6. I think we might have to take one part off.
It did 9 minus 9.
Well, we're short 9 horsepower from factory, but the tuning made a huge difference. Let's see if that's acceptable. Yeah, see, we're over by 1%, so we got to bring that down by 1.
1%!
Yes, I know. I think we could probably pop these wires off and be good.
But don't we need the wires?
Well, we do need the wires, but we'll put the old factory wires on. See, that was 1.25, so we put the factory wires back on, and we should be right where we need to be. It should put us right about 9.5 on the tuning.
You know, now that I think of it, the people in this town are very picky.
Oh, I think we're still over by 0.35%.
Again, picky people.
Well, it's the game that's picky, not the people. That gives us 2. That gives us 4. That gives us 0.6. I guess we could take these fire sticks out of here. So we could remove 3 and put 2 standards in there. So that's 26. We'll put the best plugs that we can get in here. 66 on that one. 64 on that one. Now we'll put the old fire wires back on. Alright, let's see how it does now. How close do you think we'll get? I'm gonna say we're gonna be 9.85. What do you think? Or do you think it'll be dead 10 on?
Maybe.
9.98! I'm gonna call that as close to 10% as we can get it.
Or we can add another high performance one and see how that does.
No, that'll put us over because we're at 9.98. Those
Okay.
spark plugs were 0.13 each.
Okay.
So that would put us over. We're going to give this thing a nice little car wish. Make it kind of sparkles.
That's just rust.
It actually does look better.
You should detail the inside.
I'm gonna! Right? There. Take your lousy car. Yes, let's open it. Hey, buying location. Well, those aren't in too bad a shape. I could probably reuse a lot of those for another kick it out the door kind of car that doesn't have a very high standards.
So you've only been streaming for about 50 minutes now.
Yes. Come back into here. Actually, these are high performance parts, so we want to put them under our warehouse too. Performance and quality parts. Okay.
Do a barn find so that nobody cares.
Well, we're still. Can we finish the cars we've got in the shop, son? Jeez. I always want to do the barn finds.
Yeah, because then we can do whatever I want.
Here's one that needs a new engine. Let's bring that one in. And what is this one? Hi, I heard that you're a decent professional. I found this car at my great-grandpa's in an old tool shed, buried under old things and other trash. I have no idea how long it stood there. I know it from old photos from my grandparents. The once beautiful Saline 1500 needs some love and attention from somebody experienced. From what I remember, it wasn't really spared by previous users. In spite of it all, I think it's not the worst base for rebuilding this classic piece. Seems a shame to waste such a car. Apparently, it's rather rare configuration. Please do what you can to make it look new. If all goes well, maybe I will manage to sell it to a museum? Is that a question? We'll see. Let me know when you're done. Dun dun. Holy cow. Yeah, it's definitely something.
Well, he did say he found it under some trash.
150,000 miles.
That car is
Wow.
solid.
Body is 11%, frame is 21. Man, yeah, this thing is definitely not in good shape.
Like I said, spent.
Yeah. Okay. You need an engine. What engine's in this one? V8 2 carb.
OHV. What is the OHV?
Overhead valve.
Okay.
This one needs an engine too, doesn't it? Tink, 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 tink. tink, 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 tink,
Some
tink,
of those were
tink,
really
tink. Yeah,
close.
that's why the car's in here because it's got a noisy engine. So hopefully the internal parts are fine. Otherwise, we're going to be pulling this whole engine out, rebuilding it, and basically yelling and screaming. I crushed my hand on the hammer.
I stabbed my hand with a
What?
screwdriver.
I've done that a lot of times.
Really?
A number of times I've been sitting there prying on something with a screwdriver, and that screwdriver will. See what kind of love I have in this household? I mean, he laughs at my pain. He just, you know. I'll remember when we're out there working on a car and you hurt yourself, I'll be sure to laugh just like that. I will laugh because I think it'll be the funniest thing ever. And then we'll see how funny you think it is that you take that screwdriver. Uh huh. Uh huh.
Let me breathe.
Let you breathe. You're the one laughing. I'm not doing nothing to prevent you from breathing.
You're the one making me laugh.
What? My gosh. I always gotta blame it on me, don't you? Let's see what the inside of this thing looks like. Oh, fuel pump's nice and strong. Look at that pretty little fuel pump. Probably swapped that out thinking that was the problem. Let's see if it needs tires. Yeah, they're almost brand new tires. Look at those.
Like I said, no, it does not. Maybe that
He's been roasting those rear tires a little bit. It's probably how he broke the motor. Let's see what all the electro technical digital stuff does. The alternator's just about shot. Battery could use a nice little recharge on it. Let's see what kind of compression we have. See if we really need any internal work or if it's all just external. We got a bad rocker arm. Actually, one bad rocker arm's not bad. That is actually.
and those piston rings are in decent
Well,
shape.
that's my point, right? Is for what we're looking at, that's is in fairly decent shape. It doesn't need as much work as.
We thought.
Let's see what our list says. Yeah, we discovered those. Oh, there's undiscovered parts. Dun dun dun. I wonder if we could.
Oh wow!
What?
Go look at those.
Yeah, I know. Well, crankshaft pulley, we knew that was bad. Let's see if we can take a sneak peek on the inside of this engine. The carb is shot too. We knew the carb was bad.
What? How does a carburetor get shot?
We got a bad crankshaft bearing cap there. I can see it. And see, this is how you kind of fake getting into these things. Seeing if there's hidden gems. Those caps look okay. It looks like it's just this one crank bearing cap. I wonder if this has a bad. Yep, cam is bad. So we got the bad cam. We know those pistons look good. We've got some bad push rods too. So bad push rods, and we've got that bad lifter, bad cam.
It's like POV. You're in an engine.
Yep, yep. So we've identified all of our parts. So yeah, we're going to have to basically tear the whole top end of this thing down. Okay, well, let's get started, kids.
You're expecting kids to be on Twitch?
I just call people kids because, you know, kind of what we do. I don't think I have to, well, I know I have to pull the valve covers, but I don't think I have to pull the heads. There shouldn't be any reason why I'd have to pull the heads. Hey, look, I got it right first try. Okay, and I think this push rod's bad. Yep, 10. Let's see here, that one. That one looks okay. Those look okay. Let's come over here to this side. Probably got a bad push rod over here.
I saw a lot of bad push rods.
Yeah, we got to drain the oil on this too to get to that. Yeah, we got 2 bad push rods there. So we're going to have to remove you. And we got to swap you out. You're at 14%. We got to swap you out. You're at 8%. Yeah, those things are El Coco'd. All right.
What have you been doing? Drifting or something?
Well, actually, it's quite common on overhead valve engines for push rods to bend and twist and break.
Okay.
So, especially when you hot rod engines.
Oh, so this
That's going to be our cam and our crank bearing cover. I hope I don't have to pull all these. I probably have to pull all those push rods to pull the cam out. Oh, wait, before I do that, do I have a power steering reservoir?
Is that your power steering reservoir?
No, that's my brake booster. Okay, no power steering reservoir, so I should be able to pull this without a major spill. But I am going to have to drain that coolant before I pull that water pump because we got to pull that water pump to get to that crankshaft or that camshaft. What am I? Oh, the brackets are in the way. That's what I am missing.
Dad, I think you make the most amount of money when you sell the DIY ones from the barns.
Yes, that's how you make the majority of your money is by restoring the old cars. We're going to have to pull the distributor. Now, come on. That should be able to come out as a whole assembly. Are you crushing all my chips?
No, I'm trying to roll it up.
Yeah, you're trying to crush all my chips, Skip. What's wrong with you? I can pull it without pulling the lifters. Yay! They screwed up on that one, didn't they? Alright, let's get this thing in the air and drain the oil. I think an oil change was slated for this thing anyway, wasn't it? No, just engine noise. Okay, well. Whatever makes them happy, I guess.
You could score.
Yeah, with how I throw a basketball. Oh, look at all that beautiful engine oil coming out of there.
Doesn't even look dirty.
It's not. That's why I said it's beautiful engine oil. But I've got to pull it. I've got to drain it in order to pull this pan. So I can get up in here and replace this bad boy.
And the 40 of that.
Which doesn't make any sense because this whole area here is bathed in oil. There's no way any of those would ever be seized. They would never rust. They
Dad.
bathed in oil.
Dad.
What?
It's a real life
I know it's a real life
simulation.
simulator. That's what's so frustrating about it. It's so real life, none of it's practical. Let's see how many of these parts I'm actually going to have to buy. Rebuilt the carburetor. Tone up those fans a bit. We rejuvenated the alternate me later. And cleaned up his water pump.
So you want me to
Pounded.
you later?
Put a new seal on that timing cover. Rebent these clips so they snap on properly. Polished up the distributor cap. Banged the pan out a little bit. And we polished up that crankshaft bearing. Awesome. So really, I think we're just replacing the push rods and the
So can you rejuvenate a push rod in real life?
no.
I thought that you could like bend them back into their original shape or something.
Oh, well, I mean, you can definitely push them back into their original shape, but usually when they bend, it's because they've shrunk or they've been compressed in such a way, so they'll be shorter than the other push rods, so it's best to replace it.
And then that's when you get your smusher and then smush it back all the way.
Right. You put
Hydraulic press.
you put it in the hydraulic press and crush it into oblivion. Yes, you can do that too.
And then you'd have a permanently flat rod.
Yes.
You wouldn't even call it a rod, it's just a disc.
Pretty certain I don't have that. Okay. Pretty certain I don't have this either. Okay. And how many did we need? 4 of these or 3? I think it was just 3, right?
4.
Nope, it's 3. Doop, doop, doop. Da, 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 da. Come on, to the engine. There we go.
Dad, when you're streaming, maybe you could have that computer running your stream to see how far back your stream is.
I can already tell that. I just have to pull up my cell phone. There's about a 3.5 to 4 second delay.
Okay.
Didn't this have the yep, clutch release bearing? We're gonna have to pull this transmission. Dang it. I don't want to pull the transmission.
Dad, when you were a mechanic, how many transmissions in total did you pull?
Oh, I don't know, son. That's like asking me how many computers I've built over my lifetime, son.
Okay. So, Dad, when you want to flip it over is when this side's super thick and this side's super thin?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the last transmission I pulled was the transmission to the S10.
Really?
Yep.
I don't even know what an S10 is.
I think you were a little too. You remember. Well, you probably don't remember the S10 because I think you were about 4 when we sold it. Or was I 5? Were you? No, you weren't 5 because we moved out here when you were 5. Yeah, I think you were about 3 or 4 when we sold it, so you may not remember the S10. The S10 was a little pickup truck that we had.
Okay. No, we moved out. I think we moved into.
We moved out here to North Carolina when you were 5 years old.
Okay. And as a little 5-year-old, I was psyching out.
Yep. You were not happy. You didn't want to leave your friends. Well, that's probably for the best.
Someday I will get enough money and fly back to Utah and see them.
What?
You
And leave me here all by my lonesome self?
Yeah.
Did I not get a rocker? How did I miss the rocker arm? What the heck?
Rocker arm.
How did that not get on the list?
Sprocker arm. Hey Dad, have you streamed Red Dead before?
Yes, I've streamed Red Dead Redemption a couple of times. If you go on my YouTube channel, you can see them.
But you remember you banned me from YouTube?
Yes. Which is what makes it even more difficult, doesn't it?
Because there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that I laugh at.
Uh-huh. But because you can't control yourself when you're on there, and you watch stuff that keeps you up in the middle of the night, you can't watch YouTube.
Good bearings. Bad bearings. I'm still amazed by how rough this thing is and how smooth this thing
Yep.
is.
We got to get that installed. We got to get that mower put back together.
I want to see you drive around our yard.
Maybe we should work on that this weekend. It's supposed to be a nice weekend. Maybe we should go out and put the mower together.
I can help.
You can. Because I might need you to crawl underneath it.
Thanks, Dad. Being small is great.
Being small has its advantages.
Like, you can fit into small places where your siblings can't, so that they can't tickle you.
Right.
I have a knife.
He's got a knife! You idiot, we all have knives. Alright, that's enough. Quit beating me with it. You are tired. You should go to bed. He's getting punch drunk.
What do you mean by punch drunk?
That's where you're so tired that anytime something happens, you just think it's the funniest thing ever. Like getting hit in the face? Yeah, that's hilarious. Come over here. Oh, how am I...
Why, game? Why?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Good thing you know the timing.
Yeah, I've kind of had to learn it. Look at that, dead on. Did I miss anything?
Hey, Dad. So I've known this one for a while. It's called the red bird meme. And it's literally just a red bird going,
Okay.
looking at the camera, goes, looks at the camera. It's super funny just listening to the bird doing weird noises.
I guess it does look better.
Detail.
Free wash and detail with every repair. There's actually some shops that still do that.
But it's funny how they made it so similar to the BMW FMW.
See how good all the rest of the suspension is. Since we've got it here. Old cars like this need full diags. It's almost out of gas. Suspension-wise, it's still in pretty good shape.
Hey, Dad.
What?
I got 2 banana guns.
2 bananas. One of those for me?
Yee.
Could you go get me a yogurt too?
Yee.
Finish order and pay out. Alright, let's sell these parts. What do we have left, guys? Are we gonna have time for all this stuff? Let's see here. Oh yeah, we got an hour. We still have an hour. We got a lot. We got loads of time. Loads of time. More time than you can shake a stick at. Don't wave sticks around. They poke eyes out. All right, this one here needed some exhaust work. Yes, we'll put you on B. And then this one here. What did this one need? This needed something simple. Oh no, this was another engine. This one here. Okay. So let's pull you in on A. I think I got rid of the one that was simple, didn't I? Yeah, that's right, because I was able to do the fuel pump while it was on the ground. That's right. Okay. I think this one is brake performance loud when accelerating on other tasks. Can I run this down the test path? We're going to just lead you down the primrose path. Primrose. It's really weird. You know, I grew up with films like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and stuff like that. What?
Zaza,
What?
yogurt has leak.
Oh no. Um,
Should I throw it away?
what did the box look like?
The box.
Because that looks like a lot has leaked out of that. Anyway, as I was saying, I grew up with movies like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and 16 Candles and all those sort of, a lot of those John Hughes films. And it's really, really wild how accurate a lot of those teachers are in those films. I had a teacher almost exactly like a lot of the teachers in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Honestly, not a lot has leaked out. Like, it's a tiny mess.
When you say a tiny mess, what is a tiny mess? Yeah, but look at the one next to it, though. Ooh, how many of these? Ooh, several of these. You know what? Have Mom go through these and let's see which ones need to be eaten right now. We might need to. You know what? Maybe we should hang on to that and take that back Monday. There were quite a few of those that were severely damaged. Because it probably had something big and heavy placed on it. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, probably wasn't important. Alright, so we are going to run this feller. See if we can run this down our test path or if it's going to be broken.
Dad, check yours and see if you're spraying.
I put it back in the box.
Okay. That's yours. There are some that don't have the hole.
So we know it has braking issues. Well, there's one bad caliper. There's another bad brake pad there. Hopefully those are on the same side. And part of the same assembly. And they're not. One's bad here and the other one's clear over on the other side. But otherwise, a lot of that's in fairly decent shape. Poor brake performance, allowed when accelerating, repair body panels, other tasks. What are our other tasks? Refill brake fluid, refill power steering. Muffler, part not discovered. Another part not discovered. Okay,
This
so
looks
yeah.
like a car your grandma would drive.
What? Why do you think my grandma would drive a car like this? My grandma drove fast cars. This is a car you're gonna drive. This is your favorite car.
No, Ford.
Yes.
Dad, look at my shirt.
Uh-huh.
Ford.
Yeah, whatever.
Ford all day.
Yeah, broken car all day. That's why you're gonna drive a car like this, because it's broken. Broken car.
Stop.
You're gonna own a broken car.
Stop.
You're gonna own a broken car. All day long. What? No, those are mine. What are you doing? Those back. Hey, I give those back. Quit being mean to me. I'm old.
Says the guy that insulted his own children.
What?
Or made fun of.
Hey, I'm just trying to give you the full brother experience here, alright?
I know. Although, my sisters give me enough of the brother experience.
your sisters definitely give you enough of the brother experience. They also give you a lot more of the sister experience when you don't want it.
You know, I see Sam and Zach, they fight a lot. But I figure sometimes they just get along to play the game.
Oh yeah, no, they get along. The thing about Sam and Zach is they're twins, so when they argue, they're literally arguing with themselves. You think I'm kidding? You watch them sometimes. They will literally sit there and argue with themselves. That is a panther door. That's not going to work.
Polly.
That's a right front door, but we don't have a right front. We need a left front door, right?
Right front door.
Tamismoto.
Left front door, which is the one you were originally.
Oh, this is the Tamago.
What's the difference between names and names? They look exactly the same.
This is cat, and the other one's tat. Fine. Let's do everything you want to do. So we go in here, and then we go body shop. Then we go here, and we need the front door. Oh, we don't need the rocker. What are you doing? You're not a cat.
I'm Simon's cat.
No, you're not.
Meow.
You're not even Osiris's cat.
Speaking of Osiris, have your fans seen Osiris yet?
Have what?
Have your fans seen Osiris yet?
I don't think they've seen the kitty cat, no. Nobody wants to see a kitty cat. Who wants to see some dull, boring kitty cat? Nobody wants to see that. Alright, now we got the license plate put back on here. Kapow! I think 60 is the minimum on this, right? 59, okay. So the body parts, done. Boom, bang, got it. Okay, so brake fluid, power steering, increased tuning by 14 to 19%. Okay. Oh, because I'm in body assembly mode. That's why I can't press it. Let's run our tests. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Those all look good. Excuse me while I eat a banana. Gotta get my potassium. I know. You're concerned about Polly. I know. I know. Polly's not gonna hurt you. Okay? This is Osiris. This is Osiris. Who the kitty cat, huh?
Our very fluffy Siamese.
She actually is a combination of Maine Coon and Siamese.
Yeah.
Because her mama was a Maine Coon, and her papa was a Siamese cat that ran around the neighborhood, who snuck into our house through the dog door one night. I know because I heard the commotion in the kitchen and got up and saw the commotion.
Wait, monkeys with guns be like.
What? Are you saying you're a monkey? Are you saying you're a monkey?
No.
I know, kitty cat. You want Adia to come home so you can go crawl into her bedroom, huh? You're taking the place of Pepper in that regard, huh? Yeah. Here. Don't let her around Polly.
Girl, it's kind of hard.
I know. Polly, you stay. Yes, I know. I know. We're burning the clock here. I get it. Okay. I know none of this has to do with the repair, but it's free experience. We got to get our free experience in. This also helped tell me what to do as far as tuning. is involved on this. It's all in good shape. I don't know what else I can do. Well, there's the other braking problem right there, a bad ABS module.
And what car is this? Is this our new truck?
No, this is the green car that we've been working on.
Okay.
Since we got to do this and the power steering fluid.
The one that I made the grandma joke.
Yes. The car you'll be driving in the future, yes. Why do you hit me? I didn't do nothing. You treat me like I did bad things.
Oh, 'cause you're a bad dog.
What? How am I a bad dog? I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. Don't tell me I'm a bad dog. I'm a good boy. Ah, look, there's the other problem with the exhaust. But I think we already knew this was bad. Oh, no, we didn't. Alright. I know it was 10%. That's what I said. It's the other problem with the exhaust. But you didn't want to listen to me. What do you... Can you keep smacking me like you own me or something? What's wrong with you? We need the oil or the fuel filter. Did we already pull the fuel filter? Well, must have. It's not there, is it? Whoosh!
Hey, you've been streaming for an hour now.
Been streaming for an hour and 38 minutes, actually. Don't get her riled up, please.
Okay. Was that a doggy burp?
That was her being grumpy about you. Because you're not being very nice. You're getting her worked up.
I love how when I pull her head back, she kind of looks sad.
Okay, we need to go 14% on the tuning of this thing, right?
And now she's rubbing her face into my leg.
Yeah, 14 and 19% on the tuning.
Who's your good girl?
And, of course, the one that has the bad brake shoes isn't on this one. Dang it. I'll hunt and peck for which one it is here. It's not that one. Whoosh! Not that one. Whoosh!
Hey Dad, I think we have to wash her face again.
Yeah, we need to wash her face.
When was the last time you washed her face?
Last time you took a bath. Did you just blow your shorts out? You gonna make it? Laughing so hard, I think you're gonna blow your shorts out a second time. Is it child abuse if your child suffocates due to laughter? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. There's something in your eyes. I'm not sure tears is the right word. I think it's all that fluidic justice you sprayed all over your shorts.
Stop it.
It was the fluidic justice one that got you, wasn't it?
Stop it. Please stop it. Dad and son at 2 a.m. be like, what?
You're weird.
No, we're both weird.
What? No, I'm perfectly normal. If anyone's weird, it's you. What? Why are you beating me up again? I didn't do nothing. You and your fluidic justice, man. That is what it.
Almost got me. Stop it. Pretty, pretty.
Alright, go into tuning. And we need rear muffler. We need exhaust manifold. Front exhaust section. Catalytic converter. Exhaust pipe.
Just
Fuel filter. Ignition wires. Ignition coil. Spark plug. And air filter. What?
what?
You bark like it matters.
She's looking at me.
She's looking at me.
Yeah. Pretty sure Mom told you to go to bed.
Yeah, I kind of haven't been enforcing it. It's all my fault. Blame me. No, put that back at the piano where it belongs.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
You were sliding it underneath my table. Alright, so we need 14%. We got 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's probably good for 10. That's 11. Let's put a fuel rail in. And I think it's gonna be this one. That's good for 3. What about throttle body? Does this thing have... What? Why'd you give up so easy? You give Up, too easy, dog. Could do an intake manifold on it. That's worth 1.25. It's not a DI, it's an MPI. I really wish it was a DI. That's a big boost, 3%. I4 throttle intake. You know, we could put a power steering pump and alternator on. That could be helpful. I don't think I want to go as far as putting a head on it. Let's slap these parts on and see where it gets us. I don't think we're gonna get to the rust stain tonight. How did I miss the middle muffler? Which is technically called a resonator. I didn't buy brake pads. Oh no. Brand new pads on one brake. Alright, that should be the end of all the bottom end work. Oh, you know what? We gotta pull this stuff off. Because we have a new friend for this. Hello, little friend. High performance sparkulators. Or as some call them, igniter sticks. Alright, let's refill this. Because we gotta bleed the system one way or another, right? Chwing! Alright, how we on all of our tasks? Done, done, done. Let's check and make sure this thing is tuned.
Good night.
Good night. What did I forget? Engine can't be started. What did I forget? Oh, air filter and the fuel pump. No.
What did you do?
I forgot to put the fuel pump in this thing. Could have swore I bought a high performance fuel pump. There's just a fuel filter. Alright, now we should be able to start it. Whole 108 horse. %. Wow, we really overshot that one, didn't we? We only needed to go 19. We put the old intake on it, so that knocks 1.5 off. I must have missed a step somewhere. Let's go ahead and slap this bad boy on. Go ahead and put this guy in. Wait, no, wrong one. You, because you're a 3. That should be 19 right there. Let's see how close we are. $18.8. Good enough. Alright, guys. I think, well, let's see. We may not be to the end of it yet. We got 15 minutes. Do you think that's going to give us enough time to finish one more car? Because we still have the old timer sitting out there. And we still have some of the, yeah, you two go in. Go back to here. You go in. And everything else. I don't want to keep stuff that's really older than 60%. Luckily, all this stuff qualifies. And we're going to put you down here with the rest of them. I don't think I can refresh that brake pad, can I? Yeah, that's what I thought. Sell. Alright. Make sure our list is cleared out. You had an engine problem, didn't you? Strange noise from engine bay, lack of power, other tasks. How come I's the one what's got a feeling this thing's gonna need a whole new engine? And we're gonna push you into here. Because you're definitely not getting there into your own power. Will it even start? Oh, at least we can do some fuel pressure testing. That's something. Carburetors are cooked. That would definitely cause a lack of power. They tried to fix it with a fuel pump. Didn't we already check these? Well, let's see if we get experience points off it. Yeah, we're getting experience. We haven't checked them yet. Well, that looks good. Don't mind me while I eat my yogurt. The battery could definitely use a refresh. Look at the state of that engine. That engine block and everything is just roasted. Rocker arms. Yeah, engine block is gone. Rocker arms. I mean, we're literally looking at a new motor. A lot of the internals are still in good shape. I mean, I guess really, if we were to just go, we need a new piston, new connection rod, new camshaft, rocker arms, engine block. I mean, that's pretty much top end right there and a little bit of bottom end. The crank seemed okay, right? There's the crank not on. Yeah, crankshaft's okay. It's almost like they overheated half of the engine. Which on V8s, that's not uncommon. Have a good head gasket here, bad head gasket over here, and just cook everything else in between. The distributor's borked too. So it's gonna be pulling the engine anyway. Let's go ahead and yoink this out of here. I don't think I've got a 2-barrel engine. I am not even sure if the engine I have in here is built or not, is it? Oh, that's 97%. Would they mind if we swapped in a 1-carb? Hmm. think how I can do this. I think I have a plan. Ah, more fresh, clean, beautiful oil in an engine that's completely cooked. I think what we're going to end up doing here, we're going to take this motor and pull it out. Then we're going to drop the other motor in. And my thought, I haven't done this before, but my thought is that I should be able to put the other motor in and then change and swap out manifolds, right? I don't know if that's a thing on here. Maybe it won't let me do that because the engines are very particular about how they go together. But let me try it and see. Ah! I wanted to go here. Let's drop this thing in. What is not making this thing 100%? Push rods. Alright, whatever. You have to own a car to swap an engine. Nah. That's what I didn't want to have to do. Okay. Well, that put a cramp in an otherwise dang fine plan. I was hoping to drop that engine in there and then modify. What am I doing here? That thinks it has an engine on it. Okay, install engine. There we go. Alright, well, maybe what we'll do, because we've got the majority of the parts, we just need to tear down two engines and put one together. So, that being said, we're going to strip everything out of this. Such a waste of time. But I was going to tear this engine apart one way or another, right? Do I have replacement carbs for this? I might have replacement carbs for this. I could probably rebuild that carb. That was only 16%. That one was 20%. I could definitely rebuild the carburetors. And I know I've got a cap for this, as well as a rotor. That distributor's not too bad a shape. Of course, the other engine has a new distributor, cap, and rotor. The timing chain and cover. See, all this stuff is junk. It's just... It's really a shame that I can't put an existing good engine on this stand and say modify and tell it how I want to modify it. So it would be real nice to just swap that other engine on here, pull the top end off, and then swap those carbs and that manifold onto it, and drop it back into the engine bay with a modified. Because really, that's all it is, right? Now we gotta go through this whole process here twice just to rebuild an engine. Maybe what I should have done was start with the new engine first and then put this thing, because yeah, I should have started with the new engine first. It's okay. I've got the parts, so it's not like it's gonna be. I'm just gonna have to do a couple of additional clicks as far as telling it, yep, I want to go back and rebuild this engine now. Hey, Vulcan! You always catch my streams right at the very end, man. Not quite ready to log off yet, but we're getting close. Getting there. Did you guys get a lot of snow? I heard it snowed real good up there in that neck of the woods. That was almost a brand new oil filter. Oh, come on. Just finished dinner, huh? Yeah, I was going to finish this car and then call it quits because it's coming up on 10 o'clock. That's okay. You can see me finish one car. In a really odd fashion. Nice. Well, kind of surprised because I thought most of Virginia got snow this weekend, or the other day. I know New York got hammered. A friend of mine said he had about 12 inches of snow at his place there in Yonkers. Nice. Gravity turns are fun. I've got to really focus on getting my OBS set up on my other drive so I can stream KSP2. Oh, and look what arrived today. I got this in the mail today, everybody. Why don't you take a look at that? See? Uh-huh. And look. See what that is? What does that say there? Huh? Yeah. 7600X. Giggity. Motherboard is probably about a week out. Got the memory here. So that's going to be my future coming up. Yeah. All right. Now we got to tear this guy down. Which is a shame because this is a dang good motor. I just wish there was a simple way to do a quick engine mod on this and swap the intake and the carburetors, and that build would be done. Kind of disappointed that's not an option in this game. Gonna walk away with a whole bunch of new parts. Oh, I saved it. Nice. Okay, that carb's rebuilding. Rebuilding. Carburetor successfully rebuilt. Yay! I think we're gonna have to buy a carb though, because it's only one of them. I have a lot of spare parts left over. Yeah, my son is actually on an i7 87K or 8700K. He is going to get all of my Ryzen 5K stuff that I have in my box, and that's going to go into his, and then I'm going to make another system out of that 8700, which is going to be my new encoding machine for all of my Plex stuff. So, yeah, 6850 is a nice chip. It really, I mean, it for the day and age, it was a big powerhouse. Um, my brother-in-law ran one of those for years. I think he just barely swapped it out, mostly because the board died, not so much because he wanted to upgrade. It's just he woke up one day, powered his machine on, and it just nothing. So he was not too happy. So, but he just bought a new 13K Intel with motherboard and all that shebang because he figured, the board's gone, may as well upgrade. So, but yeah, he was not a happy camper. He was kind of irritated. Yeah, you could probably get that. And I mean, with that board, you could probably even toss in, because that's a Kaby Lake board, right? Or is that a Skylake board that you have? I gotta tear this whole stinking thing down. You know what? I think I've got the other carb. I may not have to buy a carb. Really wish I could just pull this distributor without tearing the whole dang thing apart. Just have it be an assembly. They really need to have assemblies come out on this game. Crack out the assembly lube. The problem with these motors is it's just so tedious with every single one of those rockers and push rods. 32 times, man. See, here's another thing that you should be able to just disassemble. So the X99, that would be a Kaby Lake board. So you could actually run a 7K Intel on that if you wanted. Find yourself a 7900K, toss that in there. That'll give you a good boost. You could definitely get a few more years out of Kerbal with that. But then again, you're locked in at like the what 2800 memory speed on that board, I think, or does that board go up to 32? I can't remember. See, I used to remember all that stuff. I don't remember that kind of stuff anymore. Getting old. Yeah, but I mean 6% is, quite a bit when you're talking frames per second. That's kind of how I am. This whole 7K thing is kind of a payback for doing some work on a buddy's system. Otherwise, I would have never got it because I haven't been on my 5K too long. I've only had my 5K for about probably going on 2 years now. I've been extremely satisfied with it, but he he built himself a system and had all these problems with it, and begged me to look at his system, and I'm like, fine, ship it out here. So he shipped it out here and found out the processor was defective. And he couldn't return the processor or the motherboard. The motherboard was damaged as well. The clip for the GPU was broken on it. And he said he couldn't return any of it because he was past the return time. Oh, 3660 Ti. Yeah, that's a nice jump going from the 3060 or going from the 780 to 3060. That's a nice jump. That's definitely. But yeah, he couldn't get his video card to work. Kept giving a code 43 on it. So I get it out here and I'm testing a few things and looking at this and looking at that and discovered several things that day. That the monitor on my test bench machine is incompatible with a 4000 series NVIDIA card. I bet you can definitely play Kerbal now with that bad boy. And that he had a bad CPU for his brand spanking new build. So he couldn't return any of the items because he was past his return time for the parts. And I said, well, I could probably just contact the manufacturer and RMA both the processor and motherboard, and we could wait on those and get those in. He's like, well, how long is that going to take? And I said, well, that probably, 3-4 weeks for the processor and motherboard. He's like, well, I don't want to wait that long. I'll ship new parts to you. So he shipped new parts. And I said, well, what do you want me to do with these other parts when I get them back from RMA? And he's like, well, just keep those. That's your payment for working on my machine. So I'm getting this processor and motherboard for payment on getting his machine up and running. So that's where we stand with that. So the processor arrived today. The motherboard's going to be here in about another week, according to the tracking number. So I'm stoked on that. So yeah, I got that for doing work on a machine. I can't complain. So I mean, I can complain, but it doesn't do any good. Nobody ever listens, and you just sound like a baby doing it. So but yeah, I think it'll be a good jump, and it's for what it's worth, it's I'm excited because I want to see how. Not that I have any, you know, awesome, heavy graphic intensive games to play. I mean, the most intensive game I play is Red Dead Redemption 2, and I mean, Kerbal 2's up there, but it's still, it runs great on the system I have. So, and I know you've complained about not having the time to play Kerbal, so I'm glad that you're actually able to play Kerbal, and I'm excited that you got that new video card. That's gonna be an awesome game changer for you. Especially compared to that 780. I mean, I think that 780 was like bare minimum for Kerbal. So, in fact, in my encoding machine that I have over here, it's got a 780 GTX Ti in it, and that's what I use for all my video encoding right now. So it's kind of one. It's also a Phenom 2 X4 board, so I'll be kind of happy to get out from underneath that Phenom and get a decent. Does not have a clutch plate on it? All right. So what was going on with him getting 3 frames per second on that? Because I run a 2080 and I'm getting great frames with mine. So even under Linux. Now, while the graphics aren't the best under Linux, I was still getting great frames. I think the most frame drop I ever had was um, at the launch pad panning around the craft. But outside of that, I didn't have any chugginess with it. So I'm kind of interested to see what he had discovered on that. Yeah, Scatterer is pretty intense for graphics. So that doesn't surprise me that it really buried that 780. And that top was baked, right? Yeah, 1% on that top. So I'll have to buy one of those. That's the only part I'm going to have to buy for this whole engine. Interesting. Hmm. Well, that doesn't add up because my 2080 is only a 6 gig card. So, yeah. And mine runs smooth. I'll have to Get some recordings. What's up, honey? Well, you walked over here like you wanted to talk to me, and then you got all camera shy and walked away. Huh? Oh, you were grabbing your coat and walking away. Okay. So it had nothing to do with the camera? What's that? Oh, taking the puppers out, huh? Well, under Linux, it does run under Vulkan, yeah. So, no, it's the missus. Yeah, I'll why don't we do this? Let's get this thing finished up. We'll pop into Kerbal under my Linux and watch. It's gonna run terrible, I bet, probably because I'm encoding, and that might be it, right? Is he's encoding while under Linux? Because I never really did do any kind of recording while under Linux, and it could just be the demand, and that could be where the difference lies. Because I wasn't using any of the OBS stuff when I was testing it. Oh, and this is one reason why it's still early access, right? Because they do know there's a lot they've got to do. They are well aware that there's still a lot to do, but it's one reason why it's still early access. It's just like back when Kerbal was originally released. It remained early access for quite a long while before it went full release, and they were constantly adding new things to to the game. I remember back when you could re-enter the atmosphere at 3,000 meters a second with no heat shielding and not burn up. I mean, you could just fly right through it. So they had no heat. They had no. There was a lot they didn't have. I don't think they had the full career mode built out on it either. I think they just had, like they do now, just the sandbox and I think science mode. I don't think they had the full career. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because right now everything's just sandbox, which is fine. If you just want to build craft and get familiar with it, and I mean the mechanics have changed, but I don't think they've changed that much. Oh, because I'm stuck on that. Yoink. What? She don't want to let go of her leash? That's where you just unhook it and let her walk around with it. Yes, yes. You still have a lot of years of exploring to do. What do you want? What do you want? Huh? Why don't you guys all go up and go to bed? Because I'll be coming up there in a minute. The treats are in the drawer in the kitchen. Alright, we are just about done here, guys. Maybe we'll do a quick little... I'll show you what my Kerbal does. And of course, it's going to make a liar out of me and show how terrible it runs while under OBS, but it runs fine if I'm not running OBS. I don't know how it's going to run because I haven't run it with OBS yet. I know I was getting a lot of weird artifacting while in space that I wasn't getting while on planet. So I turned a lot of the graphical settings down to see if I could alleviate some of that, but it didn't seem to help. So, which is one reason why I installed a second drive and put Windows on it so that I could at least play it and stream it. Then, when I saw it didn't have science mode, I decided, I'll hold off on streaming it for a while. Trying to get over here. You know, I think I needed to change this as well, didn't I? Yes, I needed to drain this as well. Yep, bad fluid. And, oh, the battery's still over there too, huh? Don't let me forget to put oil in this thing. Because it's a brand new engine. And we don't want to cook it on its maiden voyage. Which a friend of mine did once. Oh my gosh. So, back in high school, a friend of mine had spent a crap ton of money on this engine. Gets the engine all installed, made sure he had all these fluids, yada yada yada. Forgot to check the oil, fired that thing up. Just burned. I'm sitting there revving it, trying to get it tuned. Then he starts hearing it clackle and everything and make lots of noises. It's like, what the heck? What did I forget? What did I forget? What did I forget? By the time he figured out what was wrong with it, he had burned every single bearing out of the bottom end of that thing out. He was so mad. Strange noise from engine bay. What did I miss? Oh, that's right. I still have the rack and pinion to do. That's right. Well, I mean, in retrospect, I mean, he wouldn't be getting it if I didn't do that work for my friend, right? Um, so I mean, it's nothing to really be too embarrassed about. I mean, it's not like I didn't have to take those brakes apart. I don't know why I did that. It's just one of those things where it just works out better. And you know, he's gotten my hand-me-downs for a lot of years. Because usually what'll happen is it'll go from me to the wife, and from the wife to the eldest daughter, and from the eldest daughter to the middle child, and then from the middle child to Kel. So he's gotten a lot of the short end of the stick for a lot of years. And now that he's really starting to get into like ARC. Oh, I've got to raise this thing up. I've also got to empty out that power steering again because I removed that rack. I'm going to have to have the fluid drained. All that fresh fluid gone to waste. Well, and that's the thing is Um, I'm really having a difficult time adapting to the new interface. The new interface just kind of looks a little too Mickey Mousey, and the way they have a lot of the, I mean, I do like the shininess because I mean that's a lot of SpaceX stuff, right? And I know they've been trying to do a lot of SpaceX stuff, but not everything has to be stainless steel. And the reason why NASA painted the shuttle and the tanks was one for visibility when it climbs through the sky so they could track it with the cameras and everything. Two, because it protects the skins, right? And I mean, it's not that they painted it; it was the color of the tiles and external structure of the craft. But you get the point. Not everything has to be stainless steel. Um, I don't think I've got a spare steering rack. I just better buy it because I don't even think I can fix that one. I mean, I kind of wish that they had kept a fair portion of the old interface and maybe just gussied it up a little bit. But with what they've done, I mean, I quite frankly think it takes up way too much real estate in the screen. Um, and you remember how small my icons are for my Kerbal. I think it takes up too much space and takes away from the actual experience. Um, I want to see the ability to shrink those down, and I'm almost certain that we are going to see mods that are going to restore the old KSP look, because you know people. I have heard a lot of people are not satisfied with the look of the UI and the interface. It's what I would expect from Kerbal Space Program, but not the second version of an already fantastic game. Um, that's just my opinion. I'm probably way off base, and a lot of people probably disagree with me, but I don't know. I get tired sometimes, and this needed tuning of 5%. And I had the opportunity to do it when it was on the workbench, and I didn't do it. So now I've got to do some additional steps. This is going to take way longer than I want it to. Accessible from the engine bay. Oh, that's right, because I'm under the car. You do it in the not the in-game menu, but the okay. You do it in the in start game menu, but not in the in-game menu. Does that make sense? Because there's a slider there to adjust how big you want it, and then rather you want it far left, far right, or center. In fact, I can show you here because I think I'm pretty much done with this rusting here. Did I get engine? Did I get oil in this thing? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. Gotta get tuning. Only needs 5%, right? So I don't think we can go with air filter. Is that 6% right there, right? Why don't we just do that? Why don't we just swap these carbs out? Plop this on there. Yeah, and see, that's where I'm at. I'm exactly at the 1340 by 1444 or 1440, and I mean that icon's like literally this big on my screen. It's huge, and while I love the little navy ball, I'm not quite happy with the end result. Let's run this thing over to the car wash real quick. At the car wash. Yeah, it is pretty big, and I wish they had more menu options to adjust it or move it or something because, and I hope that's coming in a subsequent update, and it happens before the final release. But I don't know. I want the old Navy ball back. There was nothing wrong with it. I think it looked spectacular. Um, but you know, people are. That's going to be one of the first things people mod is changing that UI. But I do like the fact that you can tweak scale everything. Um, just right in the chute there. It that should be 100% of the tasks. Finish order. Ting ting. All right, I think we're gonna end it here. I know we still have like 2 cars left, but I'm I'm tired. But don't go away quite yet. We'll do a couple of things here. Look, there's a whole engine there that I can put back together. Yay! And you guys can go into the almost good but not quite good enough drawer. You guys are in the bad category. Oops. Go in here, go in here, go in here, go in here. There. And here, sell your parts. Anything that's below 61%. Boom. Okay. Alrighty, guys. We're going to end this here. I'm going to save the game. And let's yeah, there's different mods you can get to do that. Because you can add launch points just about anywhere with some of those mods. So let's go into KSP here. What? Why? What changed? What changed? Somehow that got unchecked. Interesting. They don't have native support for this anymore because they installed their new launcher and the reason why KSP2 doesn't work under Linux is because their new launcher is a Windows only launcher. And since they've added that new launcher, even Kerbal itself has problems within Linux, which is another thing that irritates me. All right, this should work now. See, there's that. Yeah, I unfortunately don't have that option because I bought Kerbal under Steam. I didn't buy it directly, so I have to play it directly under Steam. But, back in the day when I bought it, back in 2015. So then how did you download it? Yeah, and see, when I try and do it under GOG, it says I have to go on to Steam for this copy of Kerbal. You're going to do that, aren't you? I'm going to have to set this up the same way I set it up for here. Because that launcher is crashing. So you downloaded it from GOG, but you don't use the GOG launcher? I don't know why. I was just in this the other day. I don't know why it's not running. Okay, let's do it this way. Gotta remember which drive I have this installed on. Something's changed. Yeah, see, GOG wasn't around when I purchased Kerbal. That's coming up. Alright, well, for some reason my KSP1 is not working. I was in it like 2 days ago, and I don't know why it's not coming up. Let's see if KSP2 comes up now, or if I still had the same problem. Because all of this stuff was working. See, it comes up here. It loads the launcher while you're in the launcher. I wish gaming companies would stop doing this kind of crap. I really do. And why does everybody need their own stinking launcher for everything? So a couple of things that don't work are the little movies that play and just some of the graphics and stuff on this. I haven't sorted those issues out, but if I can get them sorted out, I'll stream on this. But see, this wasn't too bad. I liked this. This looks beautiful here. Let me go in and readjust some of my settings here, because I had turned everything down trying to troubleshoot a lot of stuff. I want to leave that off. We need this on. This needs to go high, on, high. That's already high. High, 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 high. Apply. Oh, we want crash damage on. I need to turn the audio down because it's way loud in the game. Let's go. Let's go here. Well, that was later, wasn't it? It was 28 minutes. That's 6 minutes. It's 1 minute 51 seconds. You're floating around. Quick, grab onto it. Use your RCS pack. I love this opening animation. I sat there and watched that for a good 10 minutes. It was really hilarious. Well, you better be careful because even now, I mean, I've got a friend who has his installed locally as well, and it's pulling up the Pirate Division launcher on his too. And he bought his directly from uh, the squad before it became Pirate Division. Oh, now see, this is looking way better now. Because before I had all this weird artifacting all up through here. And now it's looking beautiful. Maybe I should stream on here now. We are heading down. We're heading down at exorbitant speed. That was the other thing. A lot of this landmass, when we get down here, you'll see it doesn't render correctly. Unless for some reason that fixed now too. But, I mean, you can see how smooth it is on here, right? With the flares. And, I mean, I would think that I've got a lot of the graphics turned up. I mean, it gets a little slow through here. But look at how the ground is going away there. That's one of the things that don't render very well. I mean, you can see I'm dropping frames here. My OBS is just dumping frames like mad right now. It's probably not very smooth for you guys on your end. But see, I'm not getting any of the cloud effect. I'm not getting any of the ground detail. Seeing all this is on high. And now suddenly the ground comes in. We're slowing down as the air gets thick. Yeah, no, I mean it's looking a lot better than it did. Like I said before, I was getting a lot of weird artifacting. I'm not getting that now, and I'm not sure why. Um, I'll have to look and see if there was an update. But what's your question, Bridge Keeper? I'm not afraid. Get this thing down to about 1,000 feet, and we'll deploy the chute. Or we'll just deploy it now because I mistakenly just hit spacebar. That's probably for the best. Hi! There's some deliciousness in the fridge for you.
Dog, can I walk?
No, she's saying, come love me. I'm gonna lick the back of your kneecaps.
You're going long.
Well, we just got talking about Kerbal and we were showing some things, so.
Fine, fine.
But I tried to do a flyby of the moon. When I came back, I got my. Oh, no, no. Well, uh, yes and no. Uh, you can do arrow braking. If you do that loop enough, it's going to slow you down. It's going to bring your APO down to where eventually you're going to get into the atmosphere. But you were moving so fast that you just skipped out of the atmosphere and went back, and you'll be a little further away from the mun. But you can do that a number of times, and that'll basically arrow break you down. Yes, that's Miss UPS. That's exactly Miss UPS. So yeah, you were just arrow braking. It's a great way, especially if you're low on Delta V, to just kind of get right there into the top of that atmosphere and just do a few loops to slow yourself down. That's usually what happens if I only have RCS left, and as I get into the bottom of that parry, I just go full RCS burn to slow myself down to bring that down as much as possible. And eventually, you'll get to the point where you just
I don't think she
re-enter.
likes the taste of my boots.
So
I think Polly doesn't like the taste of my boots.
probably not because you've treated your boots with that water treatment stuff, right?
No,
You didn't do that with these?
no,
Huh.
no. These boots are untreated, pre-disposed as
Maybe it's all the grease and stuff you get on it at
yeah,
work.
all the work, dirt,
All the mud and crud and cornfields.
where the marijuana
That's
grows.
right.
Yeah. Fly. The boss's thing drives me crazy. Have you still not gotten past it? No.
You haven't gotten past who?
So in Destiny, they have like a free. They have a free DLC going out for that you can play through, and then once you've played through it, and after like a long while, you after the season, it switches over to a new DLC as like a test run for people, right? So in this new
So
DLC,
it's what they call a seasonal DLC, is what you're saying.
yes,
So can you go back to that DLC if you want, or is it
you have
just
to.
gone forever?
It depends on the content. Like, if you just work through the map, you can keep going back and forth, but specific missions you can't.
So, so the map will still exist, but
Yes.
yeah.
And you can still work through, like, different bounties and stuff with different characters, but you can't actually get, like, seasonal, like, uh, buffs from the.
Nice. My aunt worked for FedEx for a lot of years, and that she retired probably early 2000, and even she has said that FedEx is not the same as it used to be when she worked there. And I don't know what's going on at FedEx, but they've really lost a lot of their way. But I'll tell you, my UPS guy kind of pisses me off because he's got this bad habit of leaving all of our stuff out by our garage door, which I mean, yeah, we got a camera that covers that, but we don't know that he's dropped it off. Where if they bring it to the front door, like our FedEx guys, the dogs will bark, and we know something's there. So, and we've stated flat out, bring to front door, right? We've even had stuff that has required signature, and the UPS guy just drops it on the front porch, walks away without ever getting a signature. So our UPS guy is kind of a jerk. I don't like him. What happened? There we go.
Why are you so hyper?
See, I'm dropping a few frames here. I'm probably down to like 20 frames per second here, but I mean, still, it's still fairly smooth and playable. Not like some of them I've seen to where, and this is only a 6 gig card, so I don't know what he's saying about it's got to be an 8 gig card. And I'm even in OBS streaming, so whatever. Yes, this is KSP2. Can't you see by this ginormously large gimbal here
Yeah, I was
that
wondering.
takes up uh,
A nautical
an
mile of
eighth of
screen.
my screen here, and I mean I want to shrink that down to about half its size because I don't need anything that massive. I mean that thing's like stinking huge.
It's the assumption that people playing this are blind.
Well, it's the assumption that people who develop the game used to develop apps for cell phones. So, you know how big they make stuff on cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless it's the exit button for ads.
Oh, well, they've almost made the exit button for ads non-existent. So, my big sausage is whenever I press that, it's like, oh, you want to download this? No, I want to X. Oh, you still want to download? No, I want to X out of. So then I got to get a fine little needle and. You're just mad because I'm not going to bed, huh?
Someone picked it up by safely and delivered it right back to the same location. Yeah.
Yeah, we had FedEx do that too.
Part of the problem is that they're understaffed. The other part of the problem is that they don't do drug tests anymore.
Well,
Like UPS or FedEx.
a part of that is because of the unions.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
As part of their negotiations. Yeah, we don't want random drug tests anymore.
Oh no, not even like onboarding drug tests.
Well, no, I'm not even saying onboarding. It's just they only do drug tests if you do something really stupid, like run into a car. I guarantee you, any driver out there that was the cause of an accident is drug tested. But they don't do random drug tests. According to some union contracts, they're not allowed to do random drug tests anymore. So that didn't go as planned. Can you take that out to? Oh, a number of these are broke on the bottom. Don't eat those, because we're gonna take them back and get new ones.
Okay.
Go get it.
So, yeah. Do you understand what I say when I say play ring around the computer?
Yeah, but see, some of the ground stuff here, like the shadows, don't render very well. They don't render properly. I had some the other day where the sun was just rising and the shadows were stretched clear across the screen. Um, but I know that there should be more detail here than what's here because I've watched a lot of people and the ground for them is way more detailed. When I go into my Windows version, this ground is way more detailed. Nice. Yeah, that's a total jerk move. I would have definitely been on the phone to FedEx screaming about that one. See, now it's starting to slow down frame-wise. We get into some of this grassy motion. The grassy knoll. And, you know, the other thing that took me a while to figure out on this was how to recover one of these crafts. I'm like, where's the stinking recover button? Where's the stinking... You go into here, and you go recover vessel. Why? What was wrong? I mean, why can't I just... Whatever. Confirm recovery. Yeah, that I was probably taking 15, 20 minutes one day trying to figure that out. Recover vessel. Yes. Confirm. Recover object. Oh, okay. It did recover the object. Now I just need to select. Why not take me back to the Space Center like it used to? Oh. See, before I had a huge landmass over here that was covering all this up. And now it's gone. So something got fixed. So maybe I might start streaming this a little bit. Look, we got boat launch, runway 1, runway 2, launch pad 3, 4. Let's go to launch pad 4. Let's go with this one. See, it's fairly smooth here. But I don't think... Well, maybe that mountain is supposed to be there. It doesn't look like it should be. No, see, that mountain shouldn't be there. So that's still happening, because this should all be clear through here. Because that's how it crawls out here. So that's one of the problems. But I do like the water deluge that they have on these things. I mean, that's really cool. Let's get started for a little gravity turn here. No, I mean, I really like the look of the game. See, these colors here don't look that bad. It's a nice gray with the paint on that. That's some really good color scheme that they've got. I need to turn the music off because they say you're supposed to hear some sonic booms on this. Get a little more of a lean here. Get a little more vertical speed out of things. We're still in some fairly soupy atmosphere. Yeah, yeah. I mean, eventually you get a nice feel for it as far as what you need to do. I've been told that I start my turns a little too early. But I think we're starting to get into some thinner atmosphere here. Where are we at here? Gotta get some decent vertical speed here. Get it up to about, let's get it up to about 80. And we'll coast up here. See, and they've kind of made this interface here a little cumbersome too. How is it saying that that's 3,000? Okay, that should be pretty circular there. So we need to point to our maneuver. Since we're now out of Atmos. I do like this start burn counter that they've got here. I do like how that is set up. Just, can I move that? I don't think I can move that, can I? See, I want to be able to move some of these things around in this window. 21 seconds. 19. Still pointing. Yep, there's our 15-second warning. The little Kerbal's going, why am I? 10 seconds. See our little tree counter here go yellow, 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 green. It's like drag racing. 2, 1. Boom. The number of times I've been watching this counter, see it go to 0, and my burn still continues because I'm not paying attention. I've done that so many times while playing around and testing things, and it's like, why is it still going? Why is it still going? Oh yeah, because I'm in control. Yeah. Well, they have little videos and stuff on that. They have a whole training section now that shows you all that. It's really really cool. I was gonna show you how some of those videos don't work for me. I can hear the audio just fine, but I can't see anything else. That was a good insertion burn. That was really really good. And now I hit that to clear it. And we are in orbit. And it is just that simple, kids. Now, if we go, let's see, we got rotational. Create maneuver. Let's burn this back. I really don't like this interface. Now, how do I tell? Okay, 53. Okay, perfect. That's where I want to be. I like how that completely blocks out the sun. Really bright star. No brightness whatsoever. Really bright star. No brightness whatsoever. You'd see like a corona around that. That's pretty good. I mean, I've done that a couple of times. Non-instrumentation installs, right? Um, it's fun to do, and you know the thing I like most about this game is once you learn how to do something and you constantly part ineffective. Oh, solar panels because we don't have sunlight. Once you learn how to do things in this, you never forget it, right? The first time I actually managed to dock manually, I was so stoked. And I mean, I was tense as all get out the whole time I was doing it. But once I figured it out, I have never forgotten it, and I can still do it. Not as good as I used to because I've gotten real rusty at it. But if I need to, I can, right? And that has been the one thing I've enjoyed most about this game is just learning and understanding how certain things work. Um, because I've tried to explain to my kids several times how in space things don't behave the same as they do on Earth. So if you try and chase after something, you're either going to pass it or it's going to pass you if you're not positioned correctly with it. So I said, in space, you almost have to be going faster than it to catch it, or be going slower than the object you're trying to catch in order to capture it. So, oh, see, and I missed my burn again. Didn't miss it too much though. It's good enough. See, and now we can come around to here. We'll be re-entering. Let's go. Let's warp to here.
Yeah, no, and I kind of the whole time growing up, because my dad was huge into astronomy, and we talked a lot about the moon landings and uh, space shuttle maneuvers and how they dock with certain things. So I kind of had an idea, but um, uh, Star Trek really kind of just glosses over the whole idea of orbital mechanics. They'll sit there and say, standard orbit, blah blah. What's a standard orbit? You know, is that just going around the equator of the planet? Is that, 20 degrees around the planet? What is a standard orbit? They never explain that. And they never explain how, when they drop out of warp, how do they slow down? You know, how do they catch things? How do they intercept things? Well, it's all done by computer. Who cares about it? It's all done by computer. That's how advanced it is. So really, we just have guys sitting there on the bridge like this all the time, playing games on the console. That's what I always imagined in next gen is when they were just going between planets. What were they really doing? They were just sitting there, playing Minecraft. That sort of stuff. But people who sit there and think, oh, it's real easy to meet up with things. It's really not. I mean, these things are literally traveling, you know, thousands of kilometers an hour, and you want to take a missile and shoot that object down in space, right? I mean, our military does it all the time. We're shooting spy satellites down out of space constantly. Of course, there are satellites that we're destroying, but the time and effort they take to calculate that out and know where they have to be in the ocean to be able to hit that satellite as it comes around. I mean, they plan that stuff for weeks. It's not something to where they're just like, "Yep, here we go." That's a long, arduous process, and you think, yeah, one of our missiles that are designed for ground assault is going into space and blowing up a target. I mean, there's a lot of people who can't comprehend that. They just don't think we have that technology, but we do it every day. Well, I wouldn't say every day, but we're doing it all the time, right? Um, just because we don't want to take something, put it out in that high parking orbit, and then someone do a mission to where they go out to that high parking orbit, find our crap, and start dissecting it. No, we're going to blow it up and bring it back down to the planet. So, but they've got to, plan it so when we hit it, all the debris falls into this particular part of the ocean, and we know exactly where those parts are going to fall, and which was kind of the whole reason that I mean that was the weakest stinking argument over that freaking spy balloon. Oh, we don't want it to come down on someone's house. It's not going to come down on someone's house. That thing disintegrated when they hit it with the missile. The biggest part they got off that thing was that big around when it fell to the ground. That's not. And half the time it was over farmers' fields in Ohio. I mean, come on. I don't know. I try not to get political on my page. I really try not to. But that one really pissed me off. That just. We're not going to talk about it. I've got a lot of fuel to burn. I wonder if I should burn a lot of that fuel off now or just wait. See, this is what I don't like is how it just the ground's rendered here, but it's and I don't get this in my Windows version, just in my Linux version. So it's not rendering stuff correctly. And you saw my settings cranked all the way up, right? I was time warped? I didn't realize I was time warped. Did I go all the way around the planet already? Huh, I may have. See, this is what I was talking about with aero braking, right? Um, my APO is coming down, but it's not coming down. This will probably be the last time, but I was up around 80 before, but it was such a shallow re-entry that I think I went all the way around without realizing it. But now my parry's down a little lower, so I'm getting into the thicker parts of the atmosphere. And my apps is coming down pretty quick. But if I just do a little bit of this will bring it down even faster. See, now I'm definitely coming in. I'm coming in. There's our space center. I could probably hit that. And there. I think we're going to fall a little shy of it. I should have aimed for more here. Because I think the planet's going to rotate faster than me now. Yeah, that's moving away from it. I should have aimed for right about here. I could always go prograde and boost myself up just a bit. There, that should be better. Wow, that rotation really created a lot of drag. Imagine that. Let that drag burn off there. We might hit it now. No, I think we're still going to miss it. Not by much, though. We might land right about here. Which one? um, it's a real interesting story. Um, yeah, exactly. Hitting a bullet with a smaller bullet. Well, yeah. Never mind. It was political. No, I mean that's fine. I just uh, so oh no, I clicked out of the window. No. Oh, it came back. Okay. See, that was the other thing is when I would click out of the window, I wouldn't be able to go back into it. So something's worked better. Um, and now I can't read what's on the screen over here because. All right. Well, I can't read your comments anymore because everything's screwed up. Uh, but so the interview. I interviewed with this company that was an insurance company to do data center things, and they said, well, we need you to meet with our director, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff, so that he can sign you off. And well, the interview for the director was never scheduled because apparently the director had a major medical issue. So they went scrambling for that. And then the next thing I find out is that that individual has passed away. So we're now they're still extraordinarily interested in me and are really really wanting to uh, uh, hire me on, but with everything that's going on right now within the corporation, with the sudden removal of this person, um, apparently there's a lot of things that he knew that nobody else did. So there's a lot of there's a lot of things going on. I mean, I don't know any of it. I don't know exactly. They're just saying that they need to verify certain things with certain C-level people about certain things and make sure that everything's still copacetic for what not and who's who and where's where. And so we're on week number 4 of this whole um, ordeal about whether or not they're going to hire me. So the job hasn't been removed or anything like that. It's still available, but the um, view of what's happening is not so much being talked about as it could have been. How do I get off that? There we go. Trying to boost me upward a bit here. But we're coming up on the ground pretty fast now because I'm boosting. Trying to shoot for the Space Center. Got the Delta V, may as well. I think we're going to run short though because we just ran out of gas, baby. Ah! It's all gone wrong! What happened? Alright, let's kick that weight off me. That might allow me a little more glide room. Still getting part ineffective. Yeah, we're losing mad altitude now. Lack of solar exposure. Great, I get it. Go away. Yeah, no, it's pretty intense, and it'll make for a real interesting work environment once I get there, if I get there, to see how everything plays out. So, where's the part I just kicked off? Yeah, we're just tumbling around now. We're not. Wow, is it really 11:30? Have I? Holy crap! Yeah, I've really gone over here, haven't I? Ah, I didn't think it was that late. I still was thinking it was like 10:30. Wow. Am I just like hanging here, or because it doesn't look like I'm moving horizontal anymore, and the ground doesn't look like it's coming up, and my speed is staying about the same. No, you're fine. I wanted to. I mean, I'm actually surprised that it's not artifacting as bad as it was. kind of irritated that Kerbal doesn't play. I gotta sort that one out and get that one running again. But yeah, maybe since it's running a little better on here, I may do some streaming. But I still want to get my Windows side set up because the graphics are way better. I mean, none of this is rendering. I'm not getting any of the clouds that I should be getting, and it just looks bad. So. Yeah, I mean, ground-wise, we're just kind of floating here. It's not really... Okay, I guess I'm kind of doing this as I'm coming down. Yeah, stick with KSP for a while. I mean, it is still early access, so there's still a lot of things they've got to tweak and optimize and scale. And I mean, it's Unity. It's always been Unity. They've worked hard to get it to this point. I think they need to work a little harder to fine tune things. But I mean, all in all, it's a beautiful game. Uh, a lot of people are upset that it doesn't have as much Linux support as it could have. With being Unity, it should have a lot more Linux support. But again, I think a lot of that deals more with their launcher than it does the actual game itself. So, yeah, I think that's a lot of it. I don't even know. Am I actually over the water or am I... No, I am over land. I thought I was over land. Why is it doing that? I don't understand why it's dragging me down inside the planet. See, there's the cloud layer there. You kind of see them this way. But I should be able to see them in this view here. And I'm not. Oh, sure. Now I see the land. I think our chute's good to go. Chute is safe. The Space Center's literally right over there. Hey, look, somebody cut that big square field out there. Must be a farmer. At least that's the lie I'm telling myself. Alright, let's speed things up a bit. I like how the balloon sound. The balloon. I like how the parachute sounds like paper. Look, the ground is sealing itself off as I get closer to it. Render distance. Yeah, see how those shadows are all stretched out there? There's just some rendering stuff that's not good underneath this. See, and the shadows for the craft don't seem to show up as well as they did in the first Kerbal. But yeah, all those shadows, they just look unnatural for the landscape and the angle of the sun. Because really, by the time the sun gets that low in the sky, you don't have a whole lot of shadows. So, not saying you don't have shadows. It's just the light balance is enough to where they don't show up as much. But I was hoping to fire up Kerbal Space Program so I could show you how to move that maneuver node and stuff around, but that's not working for me tonight. We're going to land on this delightful slope, probably roll downhill too. Oh, we don't want to abort. I'm tired. Yeah, this is a nice gentle slope. Boom. There, can he EVA? What? Think of how tall that shadow is. I mean, for the angle, it shouldn't be that tall. Crack. Let's go. Yeah, things are lagging a little bit here. This is, you can see it running slow here. Maybe it's just him walking around in the spacesuit, but. Yippee! Well, that animation was out of sequence. See, it's little things like that, right? I mean, Okay, who am I focused on now? Am I focused on Bob or am I focused on... Why do I not have any more motion? Alright. So, go. There we go. Vessel, recover. And go to train. Oh, we don't want training 7. Alright. I think that's good, guys. We're going to go ahead and save here. Actually, let's get back to the Space Center before we save. And we're going to go ahead and save it here. Save. We're going to quit. So yeah, that's our place. Boy, this was still running too. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for joining. That was almost a 4-hour stream. Thank you very much. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Later.